When you think of the sun and sand of California, images of the Oh My Heart athletes of the GEICO Motorcycle AMA Pro Circuit may not flash to the front of your mind. Well, consider this. One of America's most successful riders, 26-time AMA Pro winner and GP World Champion Wayne Rainey calls Northern California home. A man originally from Mississippi, current and defending National Guard Superbike champion Josh Hayes accords Southern California that same honor. And 2013 Daytona 200 champion and current points leader in the Daytona SportBike division, Cameron Beaubier, is a native son. Number 6 is relishing a fantastic year, adding another notch to his belt by taking the first sport bike race at Road America, bringing to 11 his total of AMA Pro wins, all before the age of 21. Yet at Road America, a challenger appeared. Another Californian, number 32 Jake Gagne, has trumpeted his intent upon disrupting Beaubier's plans by storming to victory in the second Daytona SportBike race at Road America. Clearly, the fight is on.
Getting a win was a big confidence booster. It was my first in the dry and the first one of this year, so it was just a really good weekend overall, a second and a first. You know, I can't complain with that, so we're just going to keep trying to build off that and always trying to improve and go faster.
Joyous Jake comes across the line to take his first win of the year.
To win the Daytona SportBike Championship would be huge. I mean, right now we're not really worried about that. I think I'm more worried about just, you know, getting good results race by race and just, yeah, take it race by race. And then at the end of the year, if that's the place to be, then we'll worry about it then. But right now, just worrying on trying to go fast and get some good results. Barber is a track I love. This facility is awesome. The track is really fun. So yeah, I'm excited to just get back racing, line up, and do our thing.
For Jake Gagne, the gloves are off as he limbers up, and it's seconds out for his next bout here at Barber. Welcome to what promises to be a motorized version of a heavyweight bout, as our CBS Sports Network coverage of the GEICO Motorcycle AMA Pro Series, brought to you by GEICO, continues with round 3 of the GoPro Daytona SportBike Championship. Hi, I'm Jonathan Green, and if you thought those nimble pocket rockets were excellent at Road America, wait till you see them around the twists and turns of the Barber Motorsports Park, right here in Birmingham, Alabama. And the beauty of Barber is that any one of the top 5 contenders could win here this afternoon. Let's go down to Danielle Teal and our ex-world champion, Scott Russell.
Well, this man's won the Super Sport Championship 2 times. Now he's graduated up to the Daytona SportBike class. James, how is your progress coming in this class? Are you happy with where you are right now?
Yeah, the progress has been really well. You know, the results haven't shown on paper, but we've been really taking really good steps in the new class, Daytona SportBike, and, you know, the National Guard Celtic Racing crew is doing 100% good job. And look, we keep improving. We're running really close to the front guys this weekend. We're second row, and I think we got a really good race pace to run with the front boys, and we're not going to let them go this time.
Well, I think he's done a great job stepping up so far, and keep your eye on the 43. Danielle.
And with a great qualifying effort down here, the number 40 of Jason DiSalvo. Jason, where better to put this Triumph up on the front row than the Triumph SuperBike Classic?
I know, with the home race for me, living here just close to Birmingham and Trussville, it's fantastic. And Triumph as the event sponsor, there's so many Triumph supporters out here. So we're doing this for them. You know, we're doing this for all the fans here and all the Triumph supporters at home too. It's been a great weekend so far. We've made a ton of progress with this 2013 Triumph 675R, and we just want to keep on working at it. You know, we've got some changes for the race, which we normally don't do, but basically we were at the limit in qualifying, and when you're at the limit and not first, that means you still got to try some stuff. So hopefully it'll pay off in the race, and I think it'll be a good one.
Number 40, Jason DiSalvo.
Yeah, a little way from Jason, but the nerves and the butterflies are there. Here are some previous winners. Martin Cardenas with 4. Cameron Beaubier, he's out there right now, has 2 already. Josh Herron up there as well. So then, That adrenaline about to get underway here as our AMA Pro Daytona SportBike race is coming up on CBS in a moment.
AMA Pro Daytona SportBike on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Get a free rate quote today. By the all-new Bolt from Star Motorcycles. And by Cox Racing Group Radiator Guard. Run what the pros run.
Well, we've been in beautiful Birmingham all week, and it really is a big city with a small town feel. This shining modern metropolis was once the industrial centre of the South, but the Industrial Revolution was traded. The smokestacks and mills replaced by the farmers' markets and the parks. But smoke still pours from the famous Dreamland barbecue. And we may be only 2 rounds gone, but the competition is smoking hot at the moment. Cameron Beaubier leading the way ahead of Jake Gagne. The 2 Californians ahead of Garrett Gerloff in 3rd. JD Beach is in that top 5 too. He's in 4th place ahead of James Rispoli, who we just heard from on the grid, and confident as you like. Further down, Jake Lewis is looking good. He had a good Road America. Bobby Fong. Elena Myers out injured. Ben Young in 9th position. Dane Westby moving up the board in the top 10. So then, the grid is ready. Garrett Gerloff, you heard him mention there. He is 3rd at the moment and starting 4th and getting some help from Colin Edwards at the boot camp. Great place for you to earn your spurs if you want to be the next Moto champion.
On my quest to be a better racer, I really wanted to find, someone fast around my area. And luckily, Colin Edwards is right next to me, so I decided I'd go and see if I could, get a job as maybe a guest instructor, and luckily he hired me. They had me do some, just helping with riders and track maintenance and bike maintenance and stuff like that, and basically just whatever they tell me to do, I'm there to help. Yeah, throttle control is a big thing, especially out here on these big, powerful 600s. On the dirt, we have a slick tire on the rear, and it's, the vacuum gets really slick, so that's a really good place to work on just controlling the throttle. I think they taught me some stuff that, I think they taught me more work ethic than actually riding a whole lot, but it's still good to go out there, ride, slide the bike around, and to be out there with Colin. He has some great advice, and hopefully I'll get to where he is one day.
All right, that's us signing off here at Texas Tornado Boot Camp. Keep an eye on Garrett Gerloff. He might just be the next Moto champion.
Indeed, yes, I've been there myself, and he'll put you to work, will Colin Edwards. Let's prepare ourselves for this race, though, and it's coming up very soon. And Scott Russell alongside me here in the booth. What are the keys to this race?
Well, obviously the heat out here is going to be a factor, and getting in front of Beaubier right now, that's the big thing. So he's the fastest guy out here so far in qualifying, so if you can get in front of him and slow him down, that's going to be one of the keys to it. And if not, you gotta keep the pressure on him. So, I mean, you can't let this guy get out there and get some free track. These guys got to rough him up in the beginning, early laps, and get in front of him. And then tire. The heat out here is really going to take its toll on the tires. You wouldn't think in a Super Sport Club DSB class that the tire wear would be an issue with such low horsepower, but these bikes are really putting the power down to the ground, and the Dunlop tires, they've got to manage that tire throughout the race.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, it is going to be hot out there. Here's your grid then. Row 1, Cameron Beaubier, Jason DiSalvo, Jake Gagne, Garrett Gerloff. That's your front row here. And the Yamaha's evident, very much so. 127.2 though, Cameron Beaubier breaking the lap record early on to throw the competition down to his opponents. James Rispoli, we heard from him earlier. He is full of confidence on that Suzuki. Joey Pasquarella just behind him. JD Beach and Dane Westby. Now, we saw him in a great fight at Road America, and we want to see more of it. Likewise, Jake Lewis was on great form, and we need to move up the board to challenge those leading contenders. A little further down, Elena Myers had a big crash over the weekend, and we'll give you an update on her. Barrett Long on the Ducati. Not many Ducatis out there this weekend. A little further down, Melissa Parrish, another one of the female racers on the Honda. And at the back, Tega on the Yamaha, and Ron Mears on the Honda. So then, the grid formed, and Scott, what I love about this circuit, and I've had a little chance to go out there myself, it's just so technical. I mean, every corner, you've got hardly any time to relax at all.
Well, you don't have any time to relax, and it's one of the most challenging racetracks we're going to visit on our schedule this year, and You can see here it's 14 turns, and it's 2.3 miles, and there's so much to challenge the riders. When you get down in here into turn 1, right in that area, it's a blind corner. Every end of every straightaway, there's a blind corner. So that makes it very difficult for the riders to make sure they're on line. And when you get in a race situation like that, it's really hard to make a pass here. So the start here is going to be such a big key.
Well, the key also is, can, as you said, anyone stop Beaubier? Well, we'll soon find out. Cameron Beaubier, California, lead him away. Out go the lights, and away we go for the start of race 1. Rushing down to that left-hander, and it's tight through here. Everyone cleanly through, though. Nobody going wide. And then into turn 2 and 3 for the first acceleration, the first small mini straight.
It really is. This right here, DiSalvo's got the jump on him right here. You see Gagne jumped up in the 2nd spot, Rispoli in 3rd. So good clean start they've gotten in front of. That's one of the keys to the race, is getting in front of Beaubier. So they've done that. 3 riders in front of him right now. Over the hill, hard braking. This is one of the turns you're going to see a lot of action in.
And this is one of the turns we've seen so many crashes too, because everybody tries to get as fast as they can into that corner and maybe do an overtake. Next overtake coming up in a moment, but it is really tough indeed because it's off camber and downhill. Here it is.
You're talking about threading the needle right here. You got apex over the curve and back to another apex, and it's downhill. It's blind as you lead into that, so that's really a tough spot. Call that the museum corner, and now they rush down the straightaway. Turn into this chicane on the throttle, get off the throttle, get the front end to set, and then get back to the throttle. Try to get that good drive down the longest straight on the racetrack.
There's a lot of overtaking possibilities here, but Scott, if you were racing today, where would you be choosing to do it? Would you go at the obvious place, the hairpin in the distance there, or would you try to surprise someone?
Well, I like the hairpin, obviously Charlotte's Web. That's one of the premier places to pass. Turn 1's a good place. You can surprise, attack a guy. And then right in this area right here, we've seen a lot of riders run up the inside in this last corner, so there's a lot of options for riders, but again, it's so difficult because it is such a one-line racetrack. You got to get up beside the rider for it to make it happen.
And a cheeky look over the shoulder by Jason DiSalvo, because he's on that Triumph and he knows, and he told me this morning, he gave me a little hint as to how his race plan would be. He said, listen, I'm not sure about the tyre choice. I might have to go conservative because I'm not sure the soft tyre is going to last for the race. But if I can stay ahead of them, that's what I'm going to try to do early on. And that's what he's doing.
Well, it didn't last long. And there he goes. He's going to chop the front end off of Jake Gagne right there. And these guys are really putting the heat. He runs it way wide.
Oh, wow.
That just opened the door for at least Gagne to make his way through. So right there, one little mistake, and that's key, not to make mistakes. It's easy to overdo it here.
And Beaubier also looking to try and get up the inside. Whoa, and almost tries it there because he knows that if Gagne gets away, that's just what he needs. So Beaubier will be trying to get past DiSalvo as quickly as he can as well.
You can see Gagne's bike protesting as he goes to the throttle right there, really getting after it early. He knows he needs to get out front and make a break. So if he can put the 40 in between him and the 6, gives himself a good shot, maybe pull a victory, but here comes the 6.
Jake Gagne, of course, he's our story today pretty much because we've been hearing from him, and you heard just how important it is for him to try and get on level terms with Beaubier and the rest of them, and he's doing it now. DiSalvo was a bit of a surprise coming in here, but I guess when he's raced here, he first won here in 2006, we knew he'd be a factor, and oh, go on, Jason, give it a go.
Well, that's what I was telling you right there. You see a lot of that. You can swing out. There's a lot of different lines, and now they're going to battle as they go into 1. Look at the 6.
Oh, look at it, Beaubier, too. Oh, 3 abreast into turn 1. Oh, that doesn't go, but 32 still hangs on. But through goes Beaubier into 2nd.
Well, now the race is on. These are the 2 guys that put on the show at Elkhart Lake. And Cameron really showed them how to do it in day 1, and Jake Gagne got the victory on day 2. Now, will they flip-flop that again today?
Well, Beaubier, that's exactly what he wanted, was to get past Jason DiSalvo and get into 2nd place and now go in pursuit now. Those are the top 3. Behind them, Gerloff's up to 4th. Westby's up to 5th. Rispoli drops to 6th place. JD Beach is 7th. Pascarella is in 8th position. Then Jake Lewis in 9th, and Fong is in 10th at the moment. But this is intense at the moment at the front between these 3. And Jason DiSalvo will not give up by any means in these opening salvos for sure.
Well, he's going to give it all he's got right now for sure, and he's got the carrot dangling in front of him right now. So if he can stay with these 2 Yamahas, hopefully he can get the thing on the podium this weekend, but it's going to be difficult. There's riders coming from behind too.
And I tell you what, one thing you said right at the top, the heat is a factor, but also remaining mentally cool out there. Because the one thing Beaubier does not want, he knows that Gagne can win, and he knows that Gagne has got it out for Beaubier. So Beaubier will not be relaxed right now. I think he's just got to stay cool at the moment.
Obviously, it's hard to keep cool in this heat, especially when the 6 is bearing down on you right now. But Jake's not worried. He's not worried about Cameron in any way. He feels like he's all the rider that he is. But, you know, confidence, and he's got that confidence after winning that last round. So that's how the 32 is doing it right now. And the 6 is just kind of sizing him up a little bit to see if there's anywhere I can get by this guy.
Into turn 2, and it's tricky through here, again downhill, and you want to get the power on early, Scott, but you can't really get it on till about here, and you can see the bike fighting them underneath them. Now you get full power down what is one of the mini straights here before that obvious overtaking, and is he going? Yes, he is. Number 6 goes through, slides nicely through there.
That was a nice clean pass. Gagne's not an easy guy to outbrake, but Cameron found a way, got a good drive, through 3 over the hill into 4, and he outbroke him in Charlotte's Web, and that's really the premier passing zone on this racetrack. It's the safest place to make a pass, and that was a nice clean move.
Interesting, as this battle develops, Gerloff is coming and coming quick. He's in 4th place at the moment, and he's not that far away. We've got a good battle at the front with 3 of them, but it could be joined by a 4th in a moment. Great sport bike racing here from Barber. Join us in a moment. The number 69 of Danny Eslick owned the first Daytona SportBike race of the weekend back in 2011. He led all the laps on his way to another one of these classic victory wheelies. And the next day, the dominance continued, but he had a lot of company in pursuit. Eslick held them off, though, until the very last lap when his arch rival, number 8, Josh Herron, moved his Yamaha to the inside on a dramatic pass. Eslick fought back, though, and the drag race was on for the finish. Herron, though, held on by only just 0.02 of a second. And back to 2013, and it's spreading out just a little bit at the front, but I don't think it's over at all by these 2 California boys. It's just the beginning of summer, and these boys of summer are California dreaming for another victory, Scott. Which one's it going to be?
It's hard to say, but I'll tell you, the lap times have dropped back into the 28 zone. Qualifying was in the 27s. We pretty much were sure that it was going to come back to the 28s. And that allows, you know, DiSalvo to kind of be a contender still. So right now, it's going to be between these 2 guys as long as they don't make any kind of mistakes.
Still a long way to go, 5 of 21. And if you're just joining us, Beaubier has the lead at the moment. And this is how he did it.
You're getting a good drive up over the top of the hill. Like I said, this is one of the best places to pass. It's wide. It's not a thread the needle corner. He dives down the inside. Just protects that inside line, able to hold it tight on that curb, and gives Jake Gagne no place to fight back on him, and that was a perfect pass.
Back to the action then, and the top 3. DiSalvo holding on in 3rd place, and that's a good job done by the New Yorker, and he really is desperate to get amongst these youngsters because he's slightly older than them and, of course, got more experience, but I think it's got a bit miffed over the time here because they're getting a lot of limelight, these youngsters, but they deserve it because they're coming fast.
Well, we knew Jason's better than that. This is a new motorcycle here. You see the 5 of Westby on the GEICO Honda diving into Charlotte's Web. But for DiSalvo, you know, the 13 bike has been different. And so they've tried to they finally found something here that they can work with. We knew Jason's a front runner, and he's showing it here today. So he's found something in that Triumph. It looks pretty good out there.
Well, Dane got a heck of a start from 8th position on the grid. Look at him up in 4th place, holding off this battle. He started 8th, as you see there. And, wow, I'm really impressed with Westby here in this battle. He's got a lot of Gerloff all over him. We heard from him, of course. Garrett Gerloff has been training with Colin Edwards, and it doesn't get much better than that.
No, I mean, I've been out to the boot camp. It's a beautiful place, a great place to train. And for him to have that right down the road is going to really pay off in time. But the 5 right now, giving the 8 Garrett Gerloff all he can handle. The Wolverine charging his way through the pack.
Yeah, he had a good run at Road America, and obviously he was injured early in the season, didn't get to take part in Daytona, but of course bounced back at Road America and really fought all the way, and I think his confidence is up now and he's showing it. JD Beach in 6th place, and he's another one of your picks for the future, isn't he?
I think so. Definitely one of the Red Bull Rookies Cup guys in the RoadRace Factory team. JD's got loads of talent. I think just finding his way, setting the bike up, getting the right setup for him, I think is key. And right now, his teammates up there flying the flag for the same team. They're both doing a great job.
7 of the 21 gone, and DiSalvo just puts in his fastest lap at 1:28.5, and very impressed with that. And look at this Poli. Impressive You spoke to him on the grid. He is a confident young man.
He really is. I think he's, you know, taking it in stride. He's going to take what this race gives him. He's got a real battle on his hands right now, but, you know, we know he wanted to kind of chip away on it, so doing good.
Back to the top three, Beaubier, Gagne, and DiSalvo. And as I said, DiSalvo just put in his fastest lap, so he's staying with these two Californians. And I'm impressed, really, because, like I said to you, I know Jason pretty well over the years, and he kind of admitted to me, and I said, come on, can you do, you know, I was kind of G'ing him up, and I was like, can you do it? Can you beat Beaubier today? And he kind of smiled, and he went, I'd love to, he said, but I'm just not sure that we're going to last the whole race. He said, I'll give it my all, that's for sure, in the early stages. So he might drop off, but he's doing a great job right now.
He really is, and the good thing is he's got a little bit of a cushion between him and the rider behind him, Westby. So I think he could kind of run with these two Yamahas. They're kind of pulling him around. It looks like he's quicker in certain areas of the racetrack, and they're quicker maybe on the straightaways here. But he's really got the corners figured out. So you can see right there he's lost out on that straightaway, that drive. And then he'll reel them back in as they get to the corner. So that's kind of how he's running this fast lap. But getting past these two guys, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? They make it look so easy, but physically this is so hard because there's no straights to relax on. And I know that sounds a strange expression to use, but you do actually physically relax on a straight. Just let your arms out a little bit. Maybe the arm pump sometimes that some of them get can be relaxed a little bit so it doesn't come on. But there's no time to do that here.
No, the front straightaway is the only place.
Well, Daniel Teals in the pits. What's going on, Daniel?
With the crew chief of the number 40, Jason DiSalvo, Dale's lock. Dale, tire management an issue here at this track. What was the method going into this race that you told Jason to stick with?
Well, yeah, tire management's definitely going to be an issue because we had some temperature changes from yesterday, and we really didn't get a chance to test this tire as much as we would have liked to do yesterday. So, yeah, he's going to have to be very careful with this one and be aware of how the tire feels, because yeah, that's going to be an issue for us. So.
Tire management, very much an issue for everyone out there on the track here today.
Good work, yeah, absolutely, Scott. And just when we say tire management, let's explain what that means.
Tire wear, you're talking about the heat out here. When these guys put the throttle on, I mean, you're leaning a lot of lean angle, long duration corners here, so you spend a lot of time on the edge, and that really takes its toll on the tire. So the key is to get the thing off the edge of the tire as quick as you can, get it up in the meaty part of the racetrack, and let the thing drive, and that'll preserve your tire, but it's very difficult when you got these long corners.
You just saw the names of the guys involved in electronics and chassis and engine, and all of that is a factor in that tire management. Beaubier now just .076. DiSalvo still hanging with it. Really impressed with Jason DiSalvo staying with these two at the moment, because it's been pretty much a battle between these two. DiSalvo showing for the first time, and I think it is the nature of this circuit that's helping him right now. And they're literally developing this bike on their own in this team, and they're almost like they were laughing on Friday because they keep trying stuff and staying up late and thinking, well, how about we try this? Whereas they've got no input from Triumph Factory back in Great Britain, so they're just doing it alone.
Well, they've done a great job, but obviously it's not easy. And to try to develop a motorcycle at a race weekend, that's never really the way you want to do it. But we don't have a lot of testing here in America, and these guys don't get a chance to get out on these racetracks as often as they might like. But now they've finally got something they can work with.
So the two Yamahas are out front at the moment, and the statuesque Barber Motorsports Park rolling out another fantastic race. But who's going to win it? Join us to find out on CBS. Welcome back to the GEICO Motorcycle AMA Pro Road Racing Series from Barber Motorsports Park and the GoPro Daytona SportBike. Round 3, Race 1. And it's been a classic race, and Triumph are very much involved in it. Third place at the moment for Jason DiSalvo. Is he losing a little bit of time to the two Yamahas out front? We'll find out in a moment. It is Beaubier, 128.4, his fastest lap so far. And last lap at 128.7, so he's holding on that pace, Scott, so the pace is pretty much being maintained at the moment.
It is. I think right now what you're seeing is just some patient riding by the 32. The 40 is hanging on, and he's finding his way, and you can see him running quite a bit different lines. He's running into the corners and running out wider, where the Yamaha riders are holding a little bit tighter. Whatever, he may have his reasons. The bike may not be turning quite as good, or he may be trying to take away lean angle to try to save some tire for the end of the race.
Well, one thing Jason did tell me was that the bike handles really well, but like I said, they're learning new things every week, every day, every hour on this thing. So I think while the Yamahas are pretty much dialed in with these two out front, I think Jason's just trying everything he can to stay with them. Let's head down to Danielle Teal down in the pits.
With the crew chief of the number 32, Jake Gagne, Mike Canfield. Mike, is this a game of patience for Jake?
If he came in right now, if it ended right now, he'd probably say that I'm just running behind him. But that looks pretty intense to me, and it's a good pace. So we got a race on our hands.
Yes, you do. Great battle between the number 6 and number 32, Jake Gagne.
Good words from Mike. Yeah, we got a race on our hands. And I think the surprise for Yamaha is I don't think they expected to be amongst the Triumphs either. And look at them go here as we start to head down to the business end. And there you see Jake Gagne's crew. Who is the most important of those four in your crew? They're all the same.
They're all the same. It's a team effort, this sport. And once the green flag stopped, then it's up to the rider. But to get to that point, it's all about the crew. And now he looks down the inside. That's not going to happen. Looks like Westby's been caught by Gerloff and got back by him. So Westby's got a battle on his hands too. And Rispoli's hanging in nice with JD Beach right there too. This battle's got a lot to be sorted out before the end of the race, I guarantee you.
Yeah, just as we saw at Road America, a good battle for 4th place between Gerloff, Westby, and Beach at the moment. Rispoli just behind in 7th, Fong in 8th. And Pasquarella still in the top 10, and Jake Lewis not showing as well as I'd expect. He's down in 11th place.
I talked to him a little bit before the race, and he's got some front-end chatter problems in these long corners like 2 and in the 13. And that could pose a big problem for a rider. So maybe not found the right setup with that bike yet, but I'm sure it's coming from Jake Lewis.
Scott, my mom's listening. She needs to know, what's chatter?
Chatter is when the front tire, or it could be the rear, starts bouncing up and down when you're in the middle of a corner. And that's a real uneasy feeling for the rider, especially in the front. Because this sport all about the front end. Once you dive into the corner, if you don't have that feel, or if you don't have that good compliance or suspension set, then you got issues.
And you can dial it out and it comes back in a different form.
Can do.
So then back with JD Beach, 6th place for him on the RoadRace Factory Yamaha. And Yamaha such an important factor in this championship. And of course they're out front with Beaubier and Gagne as well, but all dotted out throughout the field as well. But Beaubier leads by .071 now. DiSalvo still there in the top 3. Gerloff in 4th, Westby 5th, Beach in 6th. And as they cross the line again, the number 8 of Gerloff, Garrett Gerloff, we heard from him earlier. And it's definitely paying off, the confidence growing. And yeah, he lives just outside Houston, but he originally born actually in Oregon, but actually he learned his racing craft right here. He lived here for many years, and so this was his home track for many years.
Well, he's doing a great job. He's coming off an injury a year or so ago, and he's just, he's methodically finding his way back, and now he's in this big DSB class. It's hot and heavy competition-wise. He's got one of the best teams in the paddock behind him, so he's got all the support crew. It's just a matter of taking that next step. And we're only talking a couple of tenths when you look at the race times, that these riders are a little bit off of the leaders, but just 2 or 3 tenths per lap.
And we're getting into that sort of part of the race, 13 of the 21 gone now, where tyres will be a factor as we go back to our leading group, and they're not too dissimilar to where we left them. It's spreading out slightly. Beaubier just trying to break it a little bit. His last lap, 1:28.2, and that was just a couple of tenths quicker than those chasing him. And he might be now just trying to lay in some big laps to try and break the battle here, and it is spreading out, Scott.
But 28.2 is the fastest lap of the race so far, and that's all he needs to see. When he comes by and sees his lap board right now, he'll see that he's made a little bit of a break, and this is when he'll probably pull the trigger and try to make the break from Jake Gagne right here. So keep your eye on this battle.
Across the line they come. Beaubier then. Another good lap by the Californian as he dives through into turn 1 at 1:27.6. Well, he is upping it at the moment. Let's go down to Danielle.
Down here with the number 6 crew chief, Oliver Hutchinson. Oliver, how important was this race for Cameron after getting beat by another Californian at the last race at Road America? What did you guys say to him to get him pumped up?
Well, he hates losing. We all hate losing, so, haven't really changed the tactics for this race, but the plan for the race was just to get through the first half of it and then put the hammer down. And he's done 2 fastest laps, the last lap and this one, and trying to break the race up now. And he's doing a good job at the moment, so fingers crossed for the rest of it.
Well, Oliver, never has your boy wanted more, and he does right now here at Barber. Great racing. And at the moment, Cameron Beaubier doing what Cameron Beaubier does best, which is lead, put his head down, and push hard for victory. But the horsepower is what he needs, and he's got plenty of it here at Barber. We'll take a short break here on CBS. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama, to the Barber Motorsports Park, where we're hot in pursuit of victory here around this famous circuit. Heading down the back straight in this battle for 4th place now. Garrett Gerloff getting very squirrely there, and in 4th place and holding off Dane Westby in 5th place. JD Beach still in 6th, and sadly, Espolito's dropped off on the Suzuki.
These guys are staying the same as far as lap time goes. Espolito's the one that's dropping off the pace a little bit. They're still running the high 28 zone, same as they've been doing the whole race. So James is obviously having a little problem holding on to the end of these guys. So
another factor that you don't often think about, but as the tires go off, obviously the tank's getting emptier. How does the bike feel differently as we go into the second half with 7 to go now of the race?
It's not like a night and day feeling. You just know it's getting a little bit lighter, but as you say, now your tires are worn out more, so it's a trade-off. You know, the bike might turn in a little bit better, but on the side it may have less grip. So, you know, I don't see that. I think what you see in lap time from Cameron, I think he was just holding back. When he was ready to go faster, he went faster.
Well, Garrett Gerloff, the Yamaha Extended Services monster man, got the yes from Colin Edwards. Now can he do it here against Dane Westby? Well, he's got other ideas as Dane, because we've heard his story last time out at Road America. He's dying to get back to the form he knows he can do.
Exactly. So he's working that thing right now, and he's up the inside. Westby now, he's really putting the heat on it. And the Honda, don't forget, these guys are new bikes for these guys. They haven't been running this Honda. This is the 3rd round of the year for him on this bike. Actually, he missed Daytona. So I think they've done a great job on that GEICO Honda to get right there on the back of the Yamahas have been running out here for many years and are well developed.
Yes, indeed. And I just don't know where Dane's going to make his move. And it looks like he wants to make it at every turn.
One of the problems they were having a little bit of a drive-off grip. So the 5, keep your eye on it. It looks like they may have come across something, and the thing seems to be getting off the corner pretty good with the Yamahas. That's up from what I can see.
Get the feeling that JD Beach won't be happy with where he is at the moment in 6th place, and I think he just needs a better start. Wants to get up there early on, because once these guys have gone, Beaubier and Gagne, they are off to the races.
He's a funny kid. I was talking to him earlier, and he said
that wasn't so funny
right there, and he said, I finally figure this track out about Monday normally, and that's just a little bit too late. So, but I think he's doing great so far.
Well, he's holding on there and almost getting off. Let's have another look at this, because
this is one of the fastest corners on the racetrack. As you see, changing direction, turning it in. The front end's moving around a little bit. You can see the thing just slide the rear end a little bit out, and he just sticks his foot off. Not really a big deal.
Trying to balance it out here. Not an easy thing to do as Gerloff crosses the line again. He does a 1:28.625, and he's on the pace. In fact, he's quicker than DiSalvo at the moment, who's in the group ahead. So that's good news in the closing stages. 5 to go here. And Dane goes through. Westby really pushing hard now in the closing stages, just what he needed. Let's head down to Danielle Till.
With the crew chief of the number 5, Dane Westby, Chuck Giacchetto. Chuck, Dane just made a pass, made a move on the guy in front of him, changed positions. How is he? Is he back to 100% after his major get up at Daytona?
I'd say he's about 99.9%. I'll tell you who's 100%, and that's this GEICO Motorcycle Honda race team. In reality, I love talking to you, but you really should be talking to the rest of the crew, because those guys have worked their tails off. Levon, Aaron, Eric, Chachi. Man, I just wanted to get them all some FaceTime. This team is 100% behind Dane Westby. GEICO's behind us. Right now, I'm really, really happy, because he's looking more and more like the Wolverine that we used to know.
Howling through the woods here. I love it. Chuck giving some love to the rest of the team, but Dane is howling. Let's take a look at how he got past, because it was pretty nifty.
Up here, coming out of turn 2, that was a mistake by Gerloff. He got to the throttle early. The bike stepped out, and that just kind of opened the door for Dane to ride right through there. And now you see the front wheel in the air on Westby's bike as he's leaned over, coming over through it. That's pretty impressive.
Good reactions by Dane as well, because he had to make the move and make sure that he didn't clatter into the back of his opponent, but he did it nicely. 4 to go then. Beaubier and Gagne still fighting it out at the front, but we're watching this battle, which isn't over by any means. And there is that team that Chuck was talking about. Aaron Henry, Lee Vaughan on chassis, and of course Chris Ehrlich on the owner of the team.
Well, that's a good crew they've assembled over there. No doubt they're squeezing all they can out of that GEICO Honda. And the Wolverine Westby, he's doing his great work out there on the racetrack. This is going to give him a load of confidence right now. He had that leaving when he went to Daytona with this motorcycle. They've tested here already, so they felt like they had something, and now it's kind of showing.
Yep, time running out for those chasing him. And he's not that far off, though. Decent gap, though, of 4 seconds back to Rispoli. And at the moment, Gagne losing down 3 seconds off Beaubier.
Wow, Beaubier's really pulled the pin. Gagne not able to hold with him. Just watching that race earlier, it didn't look like he had quite the bike set up. Beaubier's bike looked a little more stable in a few areas, and maybe Jake's fighting a little bit. But man, this is getting really busy up here in turn 13, 14 right now as they make their way around a couple of slower riders. That happened pretty cleanly. We got one rider in between them.
Yeah, that's the back markers they're going past now.
That'll be Ortega. They make his way by.
And they're nice and cleanly through. The flag's being waved, and that's another thing. You've got to be aware. The marshals obviously put out a different flag, blue flag letting you know that the teams are coming through. We're back with the leader, and he has broken the back of it, has Cameron. This is another brilliant display here by Cameron Beaubier, and he just put his head down about 6-7 laps ago and said, right, I'm done. I don't want a freeway fight. I'm getting out of here.
And he knocked in a couple of 27s, and that kind of broke the back of Gagne. And now Gagne's kind of dropped back into the 29s where he's backed it off in the mid-28s, and that's all he needs. He's got that cush he needs. 3 laps to go. He's just going to bring it home, try not to make any mistakes.
I do like this kid because obviously everyone's gunning for him, but he doesn't seem to be affected by the pressure. I mean, even in practice and qualifying, he broke the lap record. He was laying it down, not being conservative, and he's really taking it to them. He's psychologically psyching out his opponents right now, and this is another way of doing it, by pushing harder than perhaps he needs in the race, but it's just so psychologically discomforting to those chasing him.
Well, he had to make a rebound after that Elkhart Lake mistake. He felt like he rode bad in the second race. He knew he was better than that. He gave Gagne an opportunity to win. He took that. But right now, he's come out here. He's got his head down. He hasn't looked back one time. He's just all business. New track record, and now he's going on his way to another race win.
Gagne crosses the line, but the gap 4 seconds almost between these two. And it's a long way to catch up with 2 to go.
Long turn 2 right here. This really works. These tires, these Dunlop tires are really put to the test in the heat here, and the G's out as they come down here over this turn 3. You can see DiSalvo right there. And now the battle for 4th with Westby. These guys are closing back up on the Wolverine right now, and JD Beach, he looks like the hungry rider in the field right here.
Well, I think they're going to mount a challenge. There is the number 95, JD Beach. Gerloff's come back into it as well, and Dane's not finished with this by any means.
Well, this is key for Dane not to make one little mistake. As you saw Gerloff make that slight bobble, and that cost him. Here comes the Yamaha down the inside.
Has he got it? No. Good braking by Dane.
Westby's done all this hard work to get there. The last thing he's going to do is give that up.
Give up easily.
I tell you, if you pass him, he's going to hit you right back in the mouth and try to take that spot back. But Beach has got a real fight on his hands if he wants to take this 4th place away from him.
Well, I've asked you it before, but I want to ask again. Where's he going to try to make the move? You saw it there was one instance, but he's running out of time now. He's got to get desperate.
I'd pass him anywhere I could. Anywhere there's a crack in the seams, I'm going to stick it in there and try to make it work. But there's really, it doesn't look like Dane's got too many weak spots on the racetrack. They all look like they've been running the same lap time, so it's got to be almost a mistake or a dive bomb move. I like it right here, down the inside on the last lap. Try to push him out wide, but then you got Gerloff there. If it goes wrong, he'll pick up those pieces.
Yeah, that was the last corner, and of course they come onto the main straight. It's only a short straight, but as you can see, the 95 can get past him, and he's done just that. And he wants to stay there now, or at least if Dane comes by again, he knows he can make that move again.
Well, Westby made just a little bit of a mistake up there. He ran wide, used all of the racetrack, probably didn't get the throttle open like he wanted to, and that let Beast drive right by him on the front straightaway.
What a race this is turning out to be. And this isn't for victory, but you wouldn't believe it. Right. Beaubier still out front, leading by some 5 seconds at the moment. But this is what it's all about. Whoa, get down.
Woo.
Not using their brakes. That's not advisable.
Garrett took a shot at him right there. I mean, to outbrake 2 guys like that, I mean, he's lucky. He kept the thing on the racetrack. That was a great job to keep it back on the track. On the last lap, this is getting heavy.
Very heavy indeed, and Dane holding on for dear life on the number 5. Dane Westby holding off these 2 hard charges, and it's going to go all the way here on the final lap. And Daytona SportBike Race 1 turning out exactly as we'd hoped. Great racing throughout. And here is the leader, and all you can say about this man is Bo knows Barber. That's for sure, because Cameron Beaubier is doing it again. Here he comes, and that's a big smile from Oliver Hutchinson, and a wave to the team as he comes across the line. And yes, they've done it again. Yamaha win. Meanwhile, just behind, Westby does hold off. It's a great battle for fourth and fifth. So Cameron Beaubier, just what he wanted to. Jake Gagne will have to think about it and regroup. But Beaubier did exactly what he wanted to do at Barber. Let's take a short break.
AMA Pro Daytona SportBike on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Get a free rate quote today. By the all-new Bolt from Star Motorcycles. And by True Value for tools, products, and expert advice for all your project needs. True Value. Start right, start here.
A great sport bike race 1, and first of all, Jason DiSalvo was Beaubier's first victim as he went past, and he made it look easy. Gagne leading at the time, but Beaubier then went in pursuit of his fellow Californian. And once Beaubier had got the bit between his teeth, into Charlotte's Web, turn 4, go sideways to show us your sponsors and take the lead. That's how you do it. A brilliant win for Cameron Beaubier yet again as he marches on towards that Sport Bike Championship. Let's head down to Danielle Teal.
With a 5-second finish over second place, Cameron Beaubier, how motivated were you after getting second place at Road America to come back here and win today?
Definitely. I got my first win here, DSB win here last year, and I really wanted to do it again. My team gave me an awesome bike, Yamaha Extended Service, Monster Energy, Graves Yamaha. We worked really hard on setup this weekend, not so much at Road America, and I think that's why I struggled the second race with tire wear and stuff, but I just really want to give it up to them. They gave me an awesome bike. It was a really hot one today, so go get hydrated and try to do it tomorrow.
No question about it. It might be hot, and the setup was perfect for Cameron. And he takes victory here at Barber. Another race to come from him, though, over the weekend. But Yamaha first and second again. Jake Gagne having to settle for second. That'll be a bitter pill to swallow. Jason DiSalvo, good job for Triumph in third. Dane Westby just behind him. Further down, Jake Lewis. Disappointment from him. And, of course, a little further down, Elena Myers not starting. Let's head down to Danielle again.
And the number 32 of Jake Gagne. Jake, you battled really hard there in the beginning, and then Cameron ended up getting away from you there towards the middle of the race. How tough was this race? Heat is very much an issue.
Yeah, man, it was really, really hot out there. But, yeah, like you said, got off to a good start. Rode behind Cameron for, I think, like the first half. And then, yeah, he just started taking off, and didn't really have anything for him at that point. I think maybe make a different tire choice tomorrow should help us. But I got to give it up to the whole RoadRace Factory Red Bull crew, Leo Vinci, GoPro Bell helmets, Alpine Stars, all the guys, Danny, Mike, Scotty, Jesse, everyone. Thanks.
Good work done, and getting the sponsors in there. But let's take a look at the points as they stand. Cameron Beaubier now 22 points ahead of Jake Gagne. Garrett Gerloff still in third place. JD Beach in fourth position, and James Rispoli a little further down. Bobby Fong in sixth place. Jake Lewis still seventh. Westby up to eighth place now. Let's head down to Danielle T.
And a great third place finish today with Jason DiSalvo, number 40. Basically your home race, how good does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. You know, to do this for Triumph at their race, the Triumph SuperBike Classic, it just means so much. We've taken this bike so far in just such a short period of time, and I'm just so happy. Third place, finally.
Perfect.
So that's it. Congratulations to the top three and to all the racers in the Sport Bike Race 1. And don't forget, Superbike Race 1 also coming up here on CBS. But a good job done by everyone in Sport Bike. And for Scott Russell, Danielle Teal, and our entire crew, I'm Jonathan Green. And for the scores, highlights, features, and more, go to cbssports.com. This has been a presentation of Chet Burks Productions. 24-hour home of CBS Sports.